Members of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty have voiced concern over the maintenance of nuclear weapons at high alert level. Nearly two-thirds of the states party to the treaty issued a statement expressing alarm over the continued modernization of nuclear weapons, their delivery systems, and related infrastructure. The statement also noted that the NPT came into effect in 1970 to stop the spread of nuclear weapons, but some countries still possess them. It added that NPT members have reaffirmed their commitment to the treaty in order to seek a safer world for all and to achieve peace and security without nuclear weapons. Since the NPT's entry into force, 3 countries, including India, Pakistan, and North Korea, have conducted nuclear tests. Israel is also widely believed to have nuclear weapons. Well, we're being joined now by Nader Bagherzadeh, professor with UC Irvine, via Skype from Irvine itself. Many thanks for joining us here on Press TV, sir. Now, this concern that has been expressed by members of the NPT of a level of high alert. How seriously do you think the international community is going to take it as a whole?
So I think for your viewers, we have to explain what NPT is about. It's a 3-legged stool, and each leg is, one leg is non-proliferation, one leg is peaceful usage of nuclear technology, and the third leg is elimination of existing weapons. So the non-weapon states, as you mentioned, members of NPT want the third leg that has been basically ignored for all these years to be enforced. Now, what has happened since the NPT? There has been a reduction in the number of weapons, in particular by Russia and United States, but they have not been eliminated. And of course, the other countries like France and Britain and China have not eliminated at all. So there is really a problem of reducing them and finally eliminating them. And my opinion is that there has been efforts in some parts of the United States to have this move forward for complete elimination. If you notice, there was a report, an article by Kissinger, Mr. Perry, and Mr. Schultz, and I think Senator Nunn, that they were advocating complete elimination of these weapons. The problem is that the domestic politics is against complete elimination, at least in the United States, and we have not seen any change in other countries. As you may know, United Kingdom decided to pursue a modernization of their Trident missiles to the tune of $75 billion when England is suffering drastically from economic setbacks and so on. So it's a major problem. It's an obligation by the weapon states to do it. Economically, it does not make sense, but the domestic politics does not support it. Even if the presidents like President Obama and President Reagan advocated it, if you recall, President Reagan in Reykjavik proposed complete elimination, and the Russians could not move, and the domestic politics stopped him. Mr. Obama in Prague, I think, mentioned it too, but he also said that it may not happen in the foreseeable future. So it's on the wish list, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Right. Mr. Bagherzadeh, this nuclear non-proliferation treaty, when it came into effect, it was hailed as a very historic moment in the world's history. However, as you've just mentioned, member states have not just not adhered to its principles, but they have also gone on to modernize their nuclear weapons stockpiles. As long as there is that double standard, and also the fact that Israel's nuclear arsenals are not being inspected, do you think the NPT is really going to achieve anything?
So yeah, NPT is in trouble. There's no question about it. And I give you another example. The Article 4, the application of Article 4 is being a problem right now. For instance, you mentioned about weapons. Even enrichment issue is a problem with NPT. South Korea wants to be able to enrich, but because of its prior agreements with the United States, it's prevented, and that's a friendly country to the United States. So there is really a quagmire regarding NPT in all aspects of it. The only one probably that doesn't have a problem is the peaceful nature of nuclear, but that is not being really looked at. So I find NPT is in a very important crossroad. And they have to come up with an understanding of what does it mean for the non-weapon states, what does it mean in terms of enrichment, what does it mean in terms of final elimination, because reduction is a positive direction. I think going from 15,000 nuclear weapons to a few thousand, that's their progress. But as some generals in the United States have said, even 1,000 nuclear weapons are sufficient to deter enemies of the United States. So there has to be support from all directions to move closer to final elimination. And it is unfortunate. So NPT, in my opinion, has to review all of these, and it's not going to happen anytime soon.
And also, in the wake of this meeting, the preparatory meeting that is, we did see the delegation from Egypt walk out of the session at protest against Israel's nuclear weapons arsenal. Do you think Israel's nuclear weapons arsenal will now be an issue that the NPT will look at seriously in the future if it is to go ahead and progress?
I doubt it. I think Egyptians have done this before in other meetings. They were one of the first ones, including Iran, to ask for a nuclear-free Middle East. But there is not enough movement on the part to have Israel do anything about it. So I think they continue complaining and objecting, but I don't think we're going to see anything in that direction. It would be a good thing to do. I think it would be a positive thing to do. I think if you remember, it was mentioned that a couple of years ago, General Jones, National Security Advisor to President Obama, actually mentioned about this, and then he retracted his position because there's a lot of pressure. So I think I don't think we're going to see Israel's nuclear weapons to be discussed anytime soon. But the Arab countries want it to be on the agenda, but I don't think they're going to have more than anything than just mentioning it on the agenda. There's not going to be much movement, serious movement, in my opinion.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. Professor Nader Bagherzadeh, they're joining us. He's with the UC Irvine. Many thanks for joining us here on Press TV, Professor.